This is the plaintiff, Brenda O'Kane. She says the defendant's dog lunged at her, bit her in the face, and she now has permanent nerve damage. Her upper lip droops and her eye tears up for no reason at all. She found out the dog has attacked before, can't understand why the dog wasn't taken off the street, and wants the $5,000 she's suing for to cover her hospital bills and missed work. This is the defendant, Theandra Geiger. She says a person she works with was walking her dog, and when they came back, they mentioned the dog nipped at a person and scratched her, but she was fine. Now she's very confused because this woman's suing her for a ton of money and claiming she was severely bitten in the face. She thinks this whole thing's a big fat lie and refuses to be ripped off by the money-hungry plaintiff. She's accused of causing a lot of damage.
Brenda O'Kane?
Yes.
You are suing Theandra Geiger?
Correct.
Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay. For $5,000 in plastic surgery bills, rabies shot, your ER bill, missed work, and pain and suffering for because her dog bit you back in 2007, 3 years ago, right?
Yes.
Okay. What happened? Tell me.
I was on 223rd Street and Hempstead Turnpike, playing with my daughter. We were doing relay races, and a young girl was walking towards us with two dogs. My daughter loves animals. So
How old is your daughter? Or was she then?
8.
Okay.
So I said, you don't go running up on any dogs. So I asked the girl, do they bite? And she said, no. They're just puppies. Come and play with them. So I said, okay. So my daughter went to run again. I was like, calm down. I know, Mommy. They have to smell my hand first. So she went over to pet the rust-colored one, and I was petting the black one. And I practically knelt to the ground.
Hold
so
on
I
one second.
next to him.
How big were the dogs? Show me with your hands.
They stood about this high off the floor.
Okay.
And I was petting the black one, but I was kneeling down next to him. He's wagging his tail and scratching his back, and he just went for my face. And it was just a natural reaction. I just pulled him down and said no. And then the girl's looking at me, and she's pulling the dogs back like this with her eyes all popping out of her head. And I was like, don't worry about it, it's okay. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay, but my face was stinging, so I kept going like this. And my daughter's like, Mommy, you're bleeding. I'm like, it's okay, Aviana, it's okay. So she goes, no, Mommy, you're bleeding. I'm like, it's all right. And the girl just like took off. So
what do you mean
there was a
took off?
bar on the
Ran?
corner. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a bar on the corner, so I went in. My daughter's father was in there, actually, because that's why we were outside.
Okay.
And he turned around and he looked at me, and he goes, what the hell happened to you? Sorry. What happened to you? And I was like, I think the dog bit me. My daughter's screaming, and she's crying, Mommy, you're bleeding, you're bleeding. I didn't know that when I was going like this was hanging open.
Hanging open?
Yeah, it's in the shape of a 7. And the meat, I have pictures here.
All right, so do you go to the hospital?
No, not right away. My daughter was afraid if I left her side, I was going to bleed to death.
That's how you decide whether you need medical attention?
Well,
whether an 8-year-old is going to...
I know a little bit of medical stuff myself, so it wasn't... I didn't panic. I just,
Okay, well, but today you're asking for $5,000 for it, so
well,
you're telling me it is a big deal now. Okay.
I went the following day.
Let me see pictures. Did you call the police regarding the fleeing of the person with the dogs, or regarding...
I didn't know the girl's name.
Okay, well, maybe the police could help out with that, if they do a search of anybody walking the dogs or anything else. So did you call the police to let them know, or animal control to let them know what had happened?
No.
And why not?
I didn't think it was serious.
Okay. These are not the best pictures, but I can definitely see that you have, a scratch there. It's hard for me to tell the deepness of it or whatever. Did you end up you did go to the hospital eventually?
Yeah, I did go the next day. They wouldn't let me leave until I had rabies shots, because the lady asked me if the dog had shots.
Right.
I said, I don't know.
Right.
Because we hadn't found the dog at that point.
All right. Now, when you go to the hospital, what happens? What do they tell you? Do they stitch you?
No, they told me it was too late, too much time had passed, and but I needed a rabies shot. And I was like, okay.
That hurt?
I thought they were talking about my arm. They didn't put it in my arm. They put it directly in my face.
Really?
2 of them, right here.
Oy.
Which reopened it and sent my cheek flying, just like a nice big bubble.
Put it in your face?
Yeah, they had to pin me down to do it.
What happened, Miss? Is it Geiger?
Geiger, yes.
What happened?
The day in question, I brought my dog with me to work for a few hours, and
Okay, you don't need to tell me the name of the place,
Right.
but just explain to me what kind of place this is.
It's a group home facility.
A group home.
Right.
All right. Girls?
Girls.
Girls. Teenagers, what age?
Teenagers, 16 to 20.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Why was one of the youth there walking the dog?
Because she's an animal lover. She loves to play with dogs and stuff. So she said, "Can I walk the dogs?" That she has walked the dogs before, you know.
Okay.
She has definitely walked the dogs.
So she knows that child. How old was that person?
18.
Okay,
No, I don't
knows
know.
your dog.
She was older than that, right?
Okay.
And she walked the dog. She came back maybe like a half an hour later, and she said to me, you know, she looked hysterical. She said that the dog had bitten, you know, somebody, nipped somebody in the face is what she said. So I'm like, oh my God,
Were the
what
dogs on a
happened?
leash? I think everybody agrees the dogs were on a leash when this happened.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
They were on a
definitely.
leash.
Okay,
So,
go
oh my
ahead.
God, you know, I asked her what happened. You know, she said the woman said that she was fine. She got bit in her face. She said she saw a little bit of blood. The woman said she worked with animals before. Don't worry about it. And she said she went back into the bar with her 6-year-old daughter.
Okay, and then what happened?
I think a lawyer or someone called me about a dog bite, and I gave them all of the information regarding my dogs and all of their shots, and that is the last I've heard.
Okay, now
from
tell me
any
about
of
that. You hired a lawyer when?
That's about 2-3 days after this happened.
Right.
Okay.
I went over to the lawyers, and he was supposed to be a specialist on dog bites, especially when it came to pit bulls. And I
Was this
signed
a
a
pit bull?
retainer.
them. A lab and a pit bull. Would you
A
like
lab
to
and a
see
pit bull?
pictures?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, let me see pictures. Did you know that it was a lab and pit bull mix when you leaned down and got your
Yeah,
face in
but
a
I've
place where
raised
that dog
pits.
could
I
get
had
you?
no problem with it. I've raised pits. I've had no
Okay.
problem with that.
What is? Do you have a video you wanted to show me?
I have a disc of I broke my finger. My finger got stuck in the
Tell me
ring
about your finger,
on
because
his
we didn't really
collar.
talk about that. Yeah.
When I pushed him down, I didn't realize that my finger got caught in the ring around his collar, and it snapped sideways. And I didn't even realize it until later on that night.
Okay. I've read through your medical records. I don't see anything saying that you broke your finger. Did they X-ray it?
Possibly. Yeah, that's what's on the disc.
Okay.
Right
It's the
behind,
ring
right
finger
behind,
that-
yeah.
yeah.
Right behind the
No,
first
you can
knuckle.
see that it's you know, it's not straight like the other ones, and I don't know if it's fractured or not. In any event, let me talk to you. Had your dog? How long had you had? They were puppies. How old were they?
They weren't puppy.
They weren't puppies.
No, the black one was about 3 years old.
Oh, okay.
He's about 3 years old.
And the three. What's the black
He's
one's
just
name?
small.
The black one's the one in question, right?
Right.
The black one's name
just
is
small. Steel.
Steel. Okay. Had Steel ever bitten anyone before?
Before that, no.
Okay. When you say before that, what do you mean?
No.
All right. I didn't like that answer. Hold on.
No, I'll tell
No,
you.
well, that is the relevant question
Right.
is before that. But tell me, has something happened since then?
Yeah, he was at the vet, and they went to wash him, and there was a new veterinarian on, and he wasn't aware, you know, didn't know it, so he did bite her.
But hard, or was it a big deal? Did the vet need treatment or no?
No.
All right. Well, the relevant question in terms of the law is, and I'm sure that your lawyer explained this to you. All right, is was there ever an instance?
No.
Because she's a pretty honest woman if she's telling me this whole vet thing
Right.
later, because the rest of us would
Right.
not know about this.
So can a dog's prior record be used against him or used against the owner in a current case?
Definitely can
How,
be.
how come?
Because it's like prior history. If it's happened before, it can happen again. I mean, like,
But can that be used? I mean, it's like you should look at each case on the merits. I mean, why go into the past on a dog?
I mean, if the dog has been violent before, it's going to be violent again.
And it almost makes her more liable because she knew.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary.
I got your point. I got your point. Going inside the courtroom.
Since the dog bit, you know, I feel liable for it. I mean, the dog is my responsibility, you know, and
Well, let me ask you about that. I mean, certainly the young lady who brought the dogs back and was all shaken up, she
Right.
knows exactly where it happened. Did you ever walk out and go to the bar to see if the lady who got bit had,
no, I didn't.
and why didn't you?
I
Were you
think I was
scared?
just so, yeah, I think I was scared because, you know, I didn't want them to put my dog down, you know, if he did, you know, I was being a mommy, a dog mommy, you
Yeah.
know.
All right, folks, here's the thing. Typically speaking, in a case like this, I have a dog off a leash. And I have a dog jumping up and biting the leg or the hand or the whatever of the somebody who's minding their own business. This is a very different kind of case. If there was a negligent act on her part for entrusting it to a teenager who then acted negligently. If there was any negligent act, you'd be entitled to your medical bills and you'd be entitled to your pain and suffering. The problem that I'm having, what did she do wrong? She's walking a dog on a leash. There's no evidence that the dog has ever bitten anyone else. And you bend down to pet it and get a little too close because your face is right where this little dog can bite you.
Well,
what did the kid do wrong?
Told me to pet them. She said that puppies come and pet them. They like to play.
Okay, that's not
Negligent. I know.
right. And you know this because your lawyer explained this to you. The problem that you have in proving your case is that that's not negligence unless she knew that this dog had a propensity to do something wrong, okay? Unless she knew that this dog, in this situation with the leash and everything else, it just so happens that, you know, saying, yeah, you can pet them, they're really nice, isn't negligence unless you know that the dog has bit somebody before. And so I have no choice in this case but to rule in favor of the defendant. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, with that ruling for the defendant, the plaintiff is out here in the hallway. What's your reaction to this?
No, I think it's unfair. Totally unfair. Because if she didn't know the dogs that well, she shouldn't have been walking them like that and letting other people pet them.
Why'd you put your face right down in front of a strange dog?
Safest thing to do rather than lean over them and feel that they're intimidated.
That's the safest thing?
Yeah, well, actually.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so come on in here. You feel for her?
Yes, I do. If you know the dog bit her and she has damages, I definitely feel for her. Yeah.
Are you going to let that same person continue to walk the dogs, or have you made any changes at all?
No.
Now you know the dogs are dangerous.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Right? You know what happens on the next bite, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What happens?
I hope someone would try to sue me, I guess.
Sue you, or maybe even worse.
Yeah.
Harvey?
So there used to be this rule called the free bite rule, where every dog owner was entitled to one free bite, which means that if a dog attacked for the very first time and the owner didn't know it was going to happen, the owner had no knowledge of it, the owner wasn't responsible. Most states have done away with that. If your dog bites a person, you are responsible. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.